Welcome back to a first impression slash review of Dark Souls 2. Yes, I finally had it. I've been playing it for 20 hours already. That's actually a long time. I completed Tales of Xillia, so I had 1 point. I saw this at a really cool price, so I had to get it because I'm a huge fan of the Souls games. You know, Dark Souls, Demon Souls. I frequently adored Dark Souls. And Dark Souls 2 has another, I think, lead director or lead designer, I don't really know. And he wanted to change the pace of the game, he wanted to change a couple of things. He wanted to cater it more to the casuals and make it feel more like a single player storyline game. Well, catering to the casuals, he succeeded, making it more like a storyline game. He failed, but doesn't really matter. There are some flaws at this game though. I am playing, of course, the PlayStation 3 version. I don't know if the Xbox 360 version is the same, but I want to point out first the things I don't like about the game. First up is, with every Dark Souls game, you can go up to level like 999 or 9999, don't really know. So you could farm for souls, you know, farm for points to level up and upgrade your equipment, buy items, pretty much the currency in the game. With a bonfire, it will reset all the enemies on that level. Now, they changed it up with Dark Souls 2, where you can only kill a certain enemy, pretty much all the enemies, for a certain amount of times. I think like only 12 or 13 times, and they will disappear in that playthrough of the game. And the first time I saw that, I was like, is this a bug or something? Where is the enemy? Then I checked it out on the internet and no, that fucking asshole changed it up. Why the fuck would he do that? There is no good explanation besides for the casual gamers that just think the game is too hard and they will just beat the enemy 12 times and hey, it disappears, it gets easier. There is no other logical choice than that. It's freakingly stupidly designed and annoying because that's not how a Dark Souls game should be, because I want to farm the special area for this type of weapons or this type of equipment or ores and souls because I want to be overpowered, overleveled, I want to destroy the boss easily. Now I have to go to every freaking area, kill every freaking enemy so I can get some fucking souls. It's annoying as shit. And like I said, there is no logical explanation behind it except for the casual bullshit. Now, secondly, there were always some frame rate issues with Demon Souls and Dark Souls, but with Dark Souls 2, I've seen a lot of frame rate issues. Even when I'm just walking to a passageway, sometimes the game's like stuttering. It's really weird because they have been making games now since Demon Souls on the PlayStation 3 and they still can't make the frame rate issue go away. It's annoying. No, it's even worse. It's stupidly designed and I'm like, what the hell? Maybe they're gonna patch it up eventually on a patch, but don't count on it. They never did on Demon Souls and Dark Souls. Thirdly, and maybe the weirdest one, is Dark Souls. The Souls games are a game where you control the character, and the input of the controller to the screen has to be absolutely precise, because if you have like a giant enemy swinging a giant sword and you don't block with your shield or you don't dodge, you're pretty much dead. So the controls has to be precise. But no, there is input latency or lag in Dark Souls 2, where sometimes I want to roll, I press circle and it doesn't roll. Just a couple of microseconds later, the character will finally roll, but with it being so blah blah blah, in that time I already got hit by the enemies. Sometimes enemies are pretty fast and you see the pattern, so I hit them with my sword or with my axe and then I want to use my shield. With Demon Souls and Dark Souls, you pretty much just use your shield like that when I press the fucking button. But no, in Dark Souls 2, when I press the button, I'm like, ugh, oh shield, I already got fucking hit. How the hell did they program the game to have latency in the freaking button input? It is stupid, because the game relies on precise, absolutely perfect, precise precision of your moves, definitely with bosses, because you do play the character. There's no random rules or like, oh, you're getting now 2 hits, oh, you're getting like now 5 hits. No, if you get hit, you're dead. So those are the bad parts of the game, but they are, in my opinion, forgiven, definitely forgiven. Also, there are minor things that graphically, you know, I think that Dark Souls 1 looked a bit better than Dark Souls 2, but whatever, it's forgiven. Dark Souls 2 is like 2 times the size of Dark Souls 1. The game is big. The game is really freaking big. And there are a lot of different environments, castles, a lot of forest, ruins, underground lairs, dungeons, a lot of hidden doors or even hidden areas. There are still the governance or the guilds that you can join for the PvP and getting bonuses and special weapons. And there are a lot more, there are a shit ton of bosses. And with the Demon Souls, the Souls games, from the boss you gain a boss soul. And you can just use it to acquire a lot of souls to level up fast, or you can make special weapons. So there are a lot of special weapons. I loved it. I thought that Demon Souls was an amazing game, but a little bit short. Dark Souls was freakingly big. I enjoyed it a lot, but then I wanted to have bigger and better, and Dark Souls 2 is definitely bigger and freakingly better. Not really better, but you know the environments and how many areas there are and how many enemies there are. It's really cool. It really feels like you're in this world instead of just, you know, doing a couple of levels. You're truly in that freaking world. Everything you see, you can pretty much go to or will go to, and that's really cool. Also, they made it quite open world, where the first area, the Majua, is like the trading hub where, you know, all the NPCs are or going to be, and it's your camp. You could go to 3 or 4 areas right away from the start of the game, and some areas are just freakingly hard. You shouldn't go there, but you can go there if you want. That's really cool. I like it a lot. Where Demon Souls and also Dark Souls was more like you have to go there and then there and then there. With Dark Souls 2 you can go pretty much anywhere you want for those 4 types or 3 types of areas, and then it will expand further and further and further. And when you reach pretty much the mid to end of the game, everything will be connected together to make this giant freakingly world that's absolutely huge and amazing. I love it a lot. There's so much to explore in Dark Souls 2. It is just unbelievable. The weapons and equipment, just like Dark Souls, it's bigger, it's better. There are a lot of weapons that you're like, yeah, in every Dark Souls game, you know, there's a sword, the axe, the bow. And there are special weapons. There are, of course, a lot of boss weapons and new weapons. There are even player-created content in the game, like a shield and something else. No, I think there were shields that players could create with a contest. That was pretty cool. And so yeah, there's a lot of customization for the game. If you love like Diablo type of games where you have customization in your equipment, there is a lot of equipment in the game, a lot more than Dark Souls 1. And I play as a tank. I always play as a tank. I love heavy armor, full plate armor with a giant ass tower shield and a giant ass greatsword. It's just annoying. It does play hardly done like just using a normal sword, because of course a greatsword and even the ultra greatsword are really hard to get used to, but they do a lot of damage and I just like them. And since I've been playing the game since Demon Souls, I pretty much know how you use a great sword. What can I say more about the game? The soundtrack is absolutely amazing, just like Demon Souls and Dark Souls. It's absolutely so good. I love this, or how do you say, like orchestral type of fantasy music. It's absolutely stunning and amazing. There's also a lot of lore and a bit of a storyline to check out on Dark Souls 2. Just like in Dark Souls and Demon Souls, most of the lore and storyline are seen throughout a couple of NPCs and to equipment, to rings and ores. And then you will find out a lot more about the game. There's a lot to find out about the game. It's a really interesting world, just like Demon's Souls and just like Dark Souls. I don't think I have anything to say about Dark Souls than this. The game is absolutely amazing. If you love Demon's Souls or Dark Souls, go get Dark Souls 2 right away. Forgive the flaws it has, that it definitely has. And just keep on playing. It's so freakingly good. I love to play online. I love to, you know, I don't like to be invaded, but I like to play co-op. You know, that's really cool. I like to help people out. If you, by the way, have played Dark Souls and you're playing Dark Souls 2 and never played Demon's Souls, you definitely need to play Demon's Souls. That's like the first game, and it is a bit different than Dark Souls and Dark Souls 2. There are another flaw. I mean, not really a flaw, but yeah. I think with Dark Souls 3 or a new Soul game, they definitely should change the pace, or not really the pace, but the story. The storyline revolves around you're an undead. You need to gain souls or you will get hollow. That is pretty much the same thing from Demon's Souls and Dark Souls. So that's getting quite annoying, a bit repetitive. That is the main part of Dark Souls, is that with Dark Souls 2 you're feeling like you've already played the game, but you're in a different game. That's kind of weird, but whatever. I truly hope you like this first impression / review. And like I said, Dark Souls 2 is freakingly amazing. It's a game from 2014, so at this moment this is definitely my most favorite game of this year. Tales of Xillia isn't from 2013, right? Or else it will be Tales of Xillia, because I think that game was a bit better, it is a bit better than Dark Souls 2, but I am enjoying it freakingly a lot. I can't freaking wait to get more weapons. I want more weapons, and so yeah. I hope you enjoyed this video, and definitely leave a comment there and put subscribe button there, and like always I will see you next time.